Hey there, spectacular. It's Friday. Yeah. You guys want to see how to make a thumbnail? Not breaking any uh any rules or barriers of such. This is how you do it. This is how you make a thumbnail. Yeah, nice tasty agua. Uh-oh. Oh, shit. I spelled. That's all. I spelled that shit. Oh, let's fill it all up. Let's get it all the way going. Yeah. Come on, Ice Mountain. Don't fail me now. Don't fail me now. Don't get on my keyboard. This is actually. Oh, God. Okay. Yeah, this is where the magic happens, everybody. I don't know why this is like the most difficult task of all time, but apparently it is. I thought this would be like really fast, but I guess I didn't think about this bottle being all, see if I just keep on talking and saying nonsense. Hopefully you'll just be distracted enough to go along with it. That's all that politics is, really. It's all that it's been for a minute now. Mm. 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 Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm. Oh no, I gave it away. I tore off the back just so you couldn't see it, but I screwed it all up. Let's finish here and let's mm. 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 So, excuse me. I'm very sorry. I should be ashamed. So, the biggest celebrity died the other day. I don't know if anybody heard about it. Most people know him as Earth, although it's just a name for this big old thing we call our home. And it kind of died the other day. This study came out right here. And this is a little British article. British news, Sorry, top of the morning. Easy love now. No, I don't know what the fuck that is. It's not anything fucking close to British. But this little news piece here, Stockholm. There's a study done in little Stockholm. I don't know how long this study took, but it must have taken a minute. Must have taken a goddamn minute. But these brilliant little buggers here, they did a big old study and found that these PFAS chemicals, they They're nicknamed the forever chemicals because they just don't go away in nature, you know. Can't break them down. If you ever watched the movie Dark Waters with Mark Ruffalo and Anne Hathaway, Tim Robbins is in it. Really good movie that's just about the crisis we're in right now. This right here is what it's about. These chemicals that a bunch of chemical companies that in part own the government with many other big special interests. I mean, what bigger special interest can you be than a chemical company like DuPont? So these chemicals that they lied about for decades. It's very toxic and poisonous, undigestible, unbreakdownable in nature. They found these forever chemicals now that have been polluted to us for 50 odd years now. It's everywhere. You can't find a single spot on Earth where rainwater doesn't have these forever chemicals, man-made chemicals. We literally have made this world man-made now. It's the fucking water cycle is broken now. See, the Earth will be here. It's a big old rock, you know. Over billions of years, maybe it'll evolve into something else. Who knows? Earth's gonna outlast every single piece of life that's on it. And, you know, maybe in this horrible new phase of, you know, just ecological disaster, maybe some species of life, you know, because life is way smarter and stronger than us. Perhaps some new life will begin to breed that can evolve to live in these fucking horribly toxic and, you know, chemical-ridden atmospheres of life we hear. Breed on human fucking society land. You know, I don't know. There's a lot of weird animals out there who can survive in different places. And so life might go on, you know. That's the one thing I can hope for, is that life will go on in some kind of capacity. But unless we find a new way to figure out life, it's kind of donezo for us and most life right now. Because these chemicals, you see, they're in all rainwater, which means it affects all crops, affects all animals and all life living in each one of those habitats everywhere on Earth. Even in Antarctica, they found these toxic PFAS chemicals. You know that thing you learned about as a kid, the water cycle? You might as well not learn about it now, because it's over. It's over, everybody. We did it. We have made this Earth pretty much uninhabitable by every standard that we would be able to come up with, in terms of a comfortable living, ease of fucking food. And see, here's the answer right there, everybody, for why we've had such an increase in cancers and diseases of just about every fucking kind. Not just in humans, but in animals and pets. Cancer's gone up. Our life expectancy has been going down now for a bit. This era we live in is the great poison. That's what I like to call it. And you can kind of go back to, 60s, 50s era to now. It's been this slow, unseen, just poison of all of life. And, that's just something we really love to do, is poison our own people and our own way of life. That's what we really like to accomplish and have been so successful at for years. In fact, we love poisoning people so much now that the government doesn't even try to hide the fact that it's poisoning people, fucking all Flint. And just recently, again, there was a fucking main break that it was so mishandled and unorganized, like where exactly, was safe and was unsafe. There was like pretty much every city in the Genesee County area got an alert out that you had to boil your water for a whole day, but then it was gone. And then I don't know, man. And then a bunch of fast food places, I swear, the shit doesn't taste right. And I'm like, no, this is bad. Uh-oh. There's chemicals in the water, and they're turning the goddamn water poison. With this fucking crap, bro. We are just fucking experiments for them. We're gonna fucking die if we don't fucking do something about this fucking mess we're in. Cause God fucking damn it. I'd rather not have all of us perish. And I'd rather life be able to go on. And you know what? We can. We actually can if we decide to. All this terrible climate shit happening, floods and heat waves, and oh now, look, all the water's poisoned. You can all chalk it up to human fuckery. And, it's what we do best. It's where we are. So what are we going to do about it? Are we just going to bitch and moan and say it's all over? Well, it wouldn't be much of bitching and moaning, really, because nobody asked for it. And if bitching and moaning is the way it went out, I'd call that fair. Because really, that's all I'm doing right now is just bitching and moaning, right? I'm not above it. This gives me this right here. Pretty sure it's like a walnut shell or something, but it came off a tree right out in my front yard. Picked it up the other day. It was just on the ground, and it's like just such a fucking fascinating, just beautiful little thing. This thing is so like immaculate with on the inside it almost kind of looks like a mask. It almost looks like a mask someone would wear, like it's in like Majora's Mask or some shit. Like here's a little nose, the eye holes. So it's like, you got a picture. This is on a tree, and it's the bark. It looks just like the bark of the tree, but this is a thing we consider to be an object to itself, right? It's a walnut. We consider ourselves and all this shit to be, separate from each other, and yet this little walnut shell is a part of the tree. Like it literally. It's like on the outside. See, this is like the mask that, is worn by all of us without us fucking really realizing it. There's no face on the outside, no discernible fucking we as humans, right? We fucking just, we get a lock on for a human face and we see it everywhere. If we see like dots and shit everywhere, we see, oh my God, it reminds us of a little face. But it shows within here someone seeing, I don't know, it's fucking walnut shell. I know it's not an actual mask, but just kind of makes me feel, I feel some, Jesus, sentences, right? I feel like this little walnut shell, like all this whole world brought before us, it's just a mask we wear. And even though we're rugged and barky and jagged on the outside, rough and, a shell protective, on the inside it's so smooth and intricate and like there's like an intelligence into the design of it, into the form of it. And it's just a fucking little walnut. That's all it is. So if we can get back to that in a way and not focus on killing ourselves for profit. If we chose instead to, we have all this focus on, oh God. It's possible we make it out of this. In fact, it's very possible. Every time in history when something massive, unfolds, whether it's really negative or positive, depending on one's view. It's never something that anyone can really expect. I'm hopeful in that. I'm hopeful in the unexpected because out of the last 10 years, so much unexpected stuff's happened. And who knows what the next spark will be. But we could figure this shit out. All right, here's another thing. I'm just casually that's the thing. It's a casual conversation now to talk about the looming non-existence of our species. But it is casual. So casually, because people, when they vote on all the bills to give these massive blank checks to the companies perpetrating this disaster, it's done casually and calmly. So we got to be casual and calm about us either contemplating the end of everything or a new beginning that really, I mean it, could happen. I did some research the other day just on my own thinking of things because I found some sad, I discovered some really upsetting news a while ago and did some research on it, dug into it, and there's a sad truth about renewable energy. Well, at least in the ways we have them, today. And things always is getting better. Like, we need to, stop using fossil fuels, like yesterday. The unfortunate truth right now also is renewables, whether it be wind or solar, especially solar, and wind has its own little things. That's the thing. I'm not this I went into this stuff kind of denying it. But you have to, some people are just being, you have to find where there's honest truth without. That's the thing. People are, you have to just be honest no matter what the facts are. No, and that really means, if it opposes your own, instincts of what we should be focusing on. I want to be and I've wanted to be oh my God, we got to focus on solar and wind and all this renewable energy. And yes is the answer to that. However, it's still another thing that's, it has so much unfortunate, and I can't really explain it right now. I probably should put some link in the description to the video. But the truth is there's only one, here's the thing. Me saying this, I've heard people on the right say this, and, I do believe a lot of it comes from a lack of imagination. And I think people on both sides of this fake we have could really use some imagination, regardless of the fucking R or D next to their name. Most of them are fucking brainless. But most of them. But it makes sense because the cost. Truthfully, that's the thing. Everything, and I'm someone who's the cost. Bro, we literally print money. We have been since 1971, and all that's gone on the top. And we don't talk about the corporate socialism we have. We don't talk about that. In that way, I'm very much against corporate socialism, if in the way that most people describe that. That's what we have. Let's see. It's not so much cost of money that is the issue of our problem now. It's cost of energy. And actual just problems of the fucking long-term shit. Anyway, see, I watched it some weeks ago, so I should brush up on the exact points of why solar and why hydro and why wind. I do remember that there is a good amount of it is actually having to do with life being affected by it, But there's more to it than that. There's more to it than just birds hitting windmills, Which that was the thing I heard for a while. I'm come on, bro. Birds and windmills, can you just shut up? But, anyway. But here's the thing. The good news to all that fucked up news that's really upsetting is, oh, wow. We're actually so We are like in a giant, unbelievably deep hole. Thin as well. Super thin fucking hole. We're at the bottom. And it just keeps getting deeper. That's where we are. And with all the tensions of the world and the people and powers that be invested in evil, let's just call it straight up that, wherever you want to fucking point it at. So much of it. There still could be a way we do this. Here's the thing. I don't know, I still gotta do some more research, honestly. I need to be a little more well-versed, but there's a weird, there's a stigma against, like, nuclear power because of, like, Chernobyl. And, it's not the only one, but people are, like, scared of nuclear power plants. And there's risk in everything. But there's risk every time we send a plane up in the air, and there's risk every time, we... Here's the thing. The sad truth, it's not even that sad, it's just the truth. It's not sad or happy, it's neither. The truth is that the only way we have forward, it's the only way, if there's a way forward, if there's a story we have that's going to continue it all with humanity, it's the only fucking way we can get to the next chapter is with nuclear power. That's the only way. It's the only actual sustainable thing. And I just did some research the other day that happened to, like, I'm pretty sure it was recent when I looked it up, and a news article came up that was pretty recent. In fact, I couldn't see how recent it is because I still have it saved as a tab on my phone. Yeah. What? It can't be. Today's the fucking 19th. Did I look it up this morning? It says 2022-08-19. That's to 9:30. Did I fucking look it up today? I literally am tripping. Just on life because I don't remember shit like that. I remember shit. I remember in what part of the week or day it was. It all kind of blends together sometimes, That's how it's kind of felt since COVID, to be frank. But, yeah. So, with climate change looming and shit, we're going to have in America, not just in America, but in a lot of places in America, if, the current situation at that time is that America's still standing. And it could be, not standing for a number of ways, external and internal. And or both, or neither, or something completely unexpected, or not at all, and it's actually better than ever. Who knows? Because in that version, the only way is if we start trying to really solve our fucking power problem and energy problem and invest in nuclear energy, because it's the only sustainable one. And here's just a great idea that's just not done, but see, here's the thing. You can make nuclear weapons, you can make nuclear energy. One is literally destructive, one is attempting to be the opposite, to give. One is taking life, one is trying to give prosperity to that life. It's super and simple and obvious choice of, in fact, the fact that, like, the two things we do with fucking nuclear, it's like that's the choice we have as a species. It's like, with this great knowledge and power of fucking science, will you, Mr. Species, who's trying to evolve and make fucking a coherent society of values, do you use this power to blow up everything? Or make a harmonious fucking world with so much power that we don't even we would think how primitive we are right now, the way we do things. And I was thinking, I had an idea. I was like, bro, I know that everyone's talking about how at some point all of the Middle East pretty much is going to be uninhabitable. Hey, thanks, Jordan. I appreciate that. The Middle East is pretty much going to be uninhabitable at some point because it's just going to be so fucking hot So no one's gonna be able to fucking live there, and they're gonna migrate to all over the world. People think we have an immigration problem right now, and it's not just the Middle East that's gonna be uninhabitable. Fucking so many places. But in these uninhabitable places, like in the Middle East, and deserts, so much of it literally is a desert. That's why it's so fucking hot. I had the thought, I'm like, what if we just built shit tons of nuclear power plants in the Middle East, like in places that are uninhabited and will be uninhabited. What if that's what we did with that? And this is an idea where the whole world is working together and trying to fucking accomplish something other than dollar signs in their bank account. Oh yeah, giggity giggity, fucking look at all my M's in my bank account. I'm fucking Raytheon, and I like to kill people. Yeah, that was fucking. We conjure this thought back up. Come back. Come here. Come here. Come on back. Yeah. Yeah. It's my brain for you. But yeah, the Middle East. I looked it up and I looked up nuclear reactor. I'm like, can a nuclear reactor be, can nuclear power plants be built anywhere? Or where can they be built? And I had to look a little more, and I specifically said in the desert. And they were saying how, nuclear power plants require so much water to, like, maintain it and cool it. And so I was like, oh, God. I was like, well, damn it. I guess that's not going to work because we can't build nuclear plants in the desert until I kept looking. And then I saw that recent article right here that's apparently from fucking today, unless it got updated today. Maybe that's what happened. But it could just be from today, and I forgot that I read it this morning and thought it was yesterday. But China, or someone in China, a person who happens to be from China. That's the thing. It's like it says the fucking article China comes out with. It's like no, a person who happened to be there made something. It's like we fucking. Man, our nationalism is still just like in our blood, and it's just so not useful to actually being able to appreciate people. But anyway, China has now a first ever nuclear reactor that is waterless, can run without water, and be in a desert, literally. So we can solve this problem of energy and needing to not, use fucking fossil fuel, fucking heroin to the. That's not even a good analogy, but like we're addicted to fossil fuels, like like someone fucking in the like people in fucking 60s and 70s bands were addicted to fucking every drug in the world, man. That's such a horrible way to even say that. I don't know what I'm saying anymore, but we're about to OD basically. I think we're about, if America was actually no, not America. If humanity was a person, and you were to look at all of our fucking history, all the way back to Roman time to Greek time, all that shit, and the fucking amount of years we've been here and where we are, overarching, it's like a teenager when they get 18, they finally hit freedom, and they tasted a little bit of freedom before that when they, got a little older, but they didn't have total freedom, but they had a little bit. They just taste, and then they had to really wait until they finally got a little older, and into their 20s they became the most freest bird of all fucking time, until 27 years old comes along, and they're either about to fucking cash out like Jim Morrison, Jimi Hendrix, fucking what's her name, Amy Winehouse, Kurt Cobain, well, he didn't get, that wasn't an OD on his end, but We're about to join the 27 club of species if we don't rehabilitate our addiction to fucking the most toxic chemicals and fucking poisons that we've churned up, fed back to ourselves through a fucking feeding tube of misery. How you like them apples? All right. And on to the next topic. Mar-a-Lago. I was thinking of a different change there, but I couldn't put my finger on it. I didn't want to go to... I just wanted to go... Or I mean... Oh yeah, okay. So fun trying to play and not look, but doesn't always work out. Yeah, so our dearly dearly unreelected Mr. Donald John Trumpathon is having a bit of a rough go of it, I would say. Mr. Trump is all his friends, all his best friends, meow, they're getting indicted. And there's no way they can fight it unless they use their Washington connections and lawyers, and they'll probably be just fine. That's right. I'm looking at you, Rudy. I'm looking at you, Roger. I'm looking at you, Jared. I'm looking at you. What's his name? Oh, Michael. Flinny boy Michael. Well, he already kind of had his shit going on, but all his friends are. It's kind of looking a little something. I'm not going to be a person to say, I mean, Tucker Carlson said himself the other day. Tucker Carlson, that guy, he said that Trump, he said it's obvious he's going to be indicted. Now, maybe he's just saying it to stir some shit, but I mean, you don't just say that. That's like not a thing. Like, you don't really say that unless, I don't know. I mean, I don't know, that's not that he fucking really knows something specifically in this, but, I mean, shit, he's probably seen it enough. I mean, the FBI raided Mar-a-Lago. And, it's so interesting how this has unfolded. Just a few weeks ago, like a week and a half or 2 weeks before they did that, I gave a stream called Fuck the Fed, which is all about me trashing on the FBI because they are, still are, and have been. They're one of the worst pieces of our government. They're their own branch, really. A lot of them really are their own branch. But the FBI is a special little doozy of a private, fucking free to do whatever you fucking want force. That's what we should call them. FBI, the free to butt fuck individuals. That's what their fucking policy has been for a long time. And it happens that in this case with Trump, it's literally, they don't go over fucking high, That's the thing. Trump is a different beast. Trump, while just as corrupt as, any other person, he's also a loose cannon. He's not corrupt in the same way that, Clintons and them are corrupt, where they're corrupt, but they're not. Everybody there is they're cool with him, They're like, hey, I know I know, hey. But Trump is corrupt, and also just happens to not be that person at all, and was an outsider, and is not a regular politician, and doesn't obey the powers of anybody really but himself. That's what people like so much about him, Doesn't mean, doesn't mean he has fucking million other traits that, he lost the last election because of him, because he couldn't handle a pandemic. But then again, it's so crazy the finger we want to point because we, are so let out of the nose. That's the thing, the FBI, we don't even know what they do till we find out after. We don't know the good things they apparently do unless they want to tell us. And I guess, there's no way they're going to raid Trump's house and no one not know about it, obviously, but that's a big thing, man. And they could just be getting these documents because they literally have to do with the Russiagate or other things. I mean, I saw a couple things and I don't know, some different sources, so can't really confirm everything on what exact documents they were looking for in his house, in his residence down in Florida. But I don't know, normally these things don't happen without, something more coming. So it's a pretty crazy historic moment we're living in right now, folks. Remember all those things we learned about growing up? All those historical moments. Those weren't that long ago, but it seemed like they were, weren't they? See, we're in one right now, like a huge one. We've forgotten how how important the moment we're in is. But it's fucking crazy. I must apologize that I have not been really that consistent out here these last few weeks and such, because it's just been a bit of a struggle to find the right places and times. Because I don't want to. I don't know. I'm not good. I'm not very good at, you know. I wouldn't be a good car salesman. Um, I don't know. I want this dumb fucking show I'm putting on here for you guys to at least be an enjoyable one. And if I feel that, for whatever, you know, I mean, a lot of times I don't do it. I just can't because something else is going on. But well, if I'm not in a way where I feel I can make any enjoyment out of it, it's, you know, I don't want to ask anybody to watch something that's just totally, you know, unwatchable. Okay, I'm gonna do something I actually have never done yet on this stream. I have to piss really bad, so I'm gonna take a little pause for a second. I'm gonna cue this little. We're gonna come back though, a little commercial break. All right, this is why I need to. I'm gonna get a little music shit for this at some point soon. Okay, I promise. It will happen. I promise. I'll get the music for it. It'll be a little. It'll be a little. All right, we got about 10 minutes left. Oh, it just hit the clock. All right, we got exactly 10 minutes left now. Alrighty then, folks. Yeah, so along with all of Trump's other friends in hot water, Rudy Giuliani, Mr. Former Mayor of New York, you're being investigated, it seems, for criminal action. Criminally investigated. Oh my. Well, I bet he's hoping not to end up in a similar spot as John Gleason. And I can tell you right now, whatever Rudy Giuliani's got on his hands is probably a little more extreme than what a little old John Gleason had on his hands now. It just might be the case. As well, we recently had some elections, some elections in some different states, and having some debates going on, having some primaries get out there. And on the Republican side of things, it's looking real interesting. Just you see, things aren't always as predictable as they seem. And this year's been quite a wallop of mayhem and jarring turns. And so since the Roe v. Wade decision to be overturned, and there's been an uproar of that, the Kansas people themselves, I talked about it on the last stream, I believe, they voted in a ballot initiative against the initiative and against the legislation. The people of Kansas said no to an abortion ban. And while people were thinking this was going to be a pretty big red wave year, and in some ways it might be kind of on the outset, when you kind of look more into each race, it's interesting because, we do end up, you hear the vibrate? It's Take On Me. I fucked it up. I must have actually fucked it up when I did it all those years ago. But yeah, it's vibrating to Take On Me, supposedly. Someone's FaceTiming me right now, but... Ooh, look, NSA. Look at my camera into this camera and get a little vertigo. NSA vertigo, as we like to call that. What was I saying there? What was... Yeah, the little elections going on, that's right. Oh, by the way, I'm gonna have to come off. I'm gonna have to sign off here pretty quick because I gotta go to work. I gotta go help them folks watch them movies at the night times. I love that place. Yeah. So on the candidate to candidate in inspection rather. It's not looking so great for Republicans as it was, because even though it is true that we're living in Biden's, hellish landscape, we apply the hellish landscape to whoever is at the top, but, it's the same maintained hellish landscape with a few alterations each time, and Biden's actually kept a lot of the ones that Trump did, and they've continued them. He's filling in, Trump's border wall, whether or not you even agree or don't agree with that. It's like, what? Didn't you, say all these other things before? Oh, right. You're Joe Biden. But even though all this horrible inflation, and stuff is going wacko, they actually did just pass the Inflation Reduction Act and the climate, these fucking bills aren't nearly as, amazing as they're being sold to be, but they are something. And the fact they're passing something at all through reconciliation, is it's better than nothing. It's better than not getting any of Build Back Better in at all, which is what was going to happen. It still is, pretty much happening. But with all that, and people really just, this January 6th hearing really actually has, it's all these hearings that they always hold, it's a bunch of political theater. But theater of the politics affects the politics. And it's been, working to really, a lot of the people on the right who are winning these primaries, the person who beat Liz Cheney and Herschel Walker and all these people, they're not looking, Dr. Oz, oh God, it's not looking so good for these silly people. And, yeah, it's looking to be very interesting and exciting in different ways. John Fetterman is going to be one of the greatest U.S. senators of all time. Or at least one of the most significant. I'll say that. I can't really judge someone's actions before they come, but you can certainly have a little more judge of, it's like with Trump, a lot of people who voted for him, it's not that they really had a lot of trust in him, other than they trusted him to not be what every other one of these establishment phonies has been and continues to be. And yeah, he's corrupt. In my view, on a policy level, it's not much better a vote. But on the people who are so removed from politics, because why wouldn't you be when it's so shit? It makes sense for everybody votes on personality. And even though Trump's personality is repugnant in many ways, so name me one person you've met who doesn't have some repugnance to them in some aspect, because we're all shit and amazing at the same time. It's just the ratio, okay? No one is devoid of shit in their personality, in their character or blind spot. Everybody has them. So it's not so much people, yeah, Trump is a whole mess of bad shit, but people knew who he was. The personality is, the same everywhere he went. And now he's, evolved into a weird place, because now he's not the same Trump he was before he got, in office. And now the only thing he cares about is this damn, if you don't agree that, he should have, that it was wrong how the election played out and it was a total fraud, even though all these cases that he brought up and judges he appointed said it was, of no validity. He's literally calling Georgia, telling them, I need this many votes found, please. Like, people are really mad, but you can push it to a level. But at the same time, that's what everybody said about Trump initially, so we can't underestimate the force of... See, it's like Trump just filled a vacuum of need of people to look for something other than what they've been given. And it's so void. Our vacuum has been so void, and still is very void of strong leaders who are not only charismatic, but, actually, that's pretty much... that's mostly the only one who needs to be charismatic. But charismatic while also saying things that not any other candidate says. Trump said so many things accurately here and there that just happen to be true. That's the thing. You have to be able to acknowledge that, yeah, he did bring up all these horrible trade deals that, yes, the Clintons did do. And, yes, made a lot of these people in the Rust Belt and here in Michigan lose real jobs. That's a real thing. But just like Republicans get so lucky with Democrat stupidity, sometimes it goes the other way around. And these Dems are... they might be getting some layups here in these races, because the parity meter of Republicans right now is just off the charts. Doesn't even feel like you're watching something real anymore. Makes for great entertainment. For electability, not so easy. Not impossible, but not so easy. And we'll have to wait and see how that all plays out. Without further ado, it's 6 p.m. I gotta be to work in 15. So, ciao. And, rest in peace. Rainwater.